What's up, you guys? It's another cold day in Colorado. I'm out here shooting my bow, getting a little practice in, trying to just keep it up, try to stay consistent with it, and don't lose what you have, because once you start getting dialed in shooting a bow, it's kind of hard to forget, but you do get a little bit of some loose ends. I've been there. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's others, but try to shoot in the cold, shoot in the warm. All kinds of different weather conditions. I've noticed it's good to learn. Your bowstring's completely different when it's cold. I just keep it waxed, try to keep it as smooth, with the air being a little bit more chilled. But we're just out here getting a little bit of target practice, shooting 30 yards right now. I've got a Matthews Z7 Extreme, got my little bit of modifications going on to it. Yeah, it's just a great bow. Picked it up about 6 months ago, I want to say, and it's been really good. So we're just gonna see what we can do and get some arrows going. Alrighty, so I shot 2 arrows at 30 yards, and I'm shooting for the lowest circle on the target. So we'll see how shaky I have been this last season. Not shooting much, but not too bad. Too bad. Could be better. That's what practice is all about. So I'll keep you updated. Just keep throwing the arrows in the target as much as you can. Shoot a lot. Weather conditions are always great. Warm, cold, whatever you can get out. If you can just get out, shoot in your basement, 15 yards, 80 yards, it doesn't matter. Consistency is the key. What's up, you guys? So I'm back home this evening, and earlier we were shooting the bow. It was a little chilly out, but now I just wanted to do a walkabout, show you kind of what I'm shooting and what all has been put together to make this bow amazing for me. So I've got Easton carbon arrows. These are the Raider Platinums, and I mean, they're okay. They're not the best. They're kind of on the cheaper side, but I usually shoot gold tip. But these are yeah, they're not too bad for just kind of lobbing around into targets, basically. I got 100 grain tips, just field points right now. This is what I shoot. Just pretty simple. Nothing fancy about them. And so yeah, that's about it for the kind of bows and arrows and such, and what's all going into my bow and the shooting part. But I wanted to get down and clear some stuff with people. I get asked a lot, what's a fresh antler? What's an old antler? What's the range, like the age range of antlers? And so with this antler here, I found it today, like I said. Believe it or not, I got out of the truck. The snow got too deep, so I decided not to go down into this meadow. Not worth getting stuck. And I got out of the truck, looked down to tie my shoe, and I kid you not, I was stepping on this thing. I thought it was a stick at first. Then I picked it up. You can see this is simply an antler, to where it goes onto the deer's head, and then it splits up here. So that's pretty neat. Found my first fresh shoe of the year. But yeah, kind of cool. And this is just a little 2-point. And if you can see, try to get it in there, it's more brown, smooth. There's no cracking in it. You can see on the beads, or the buttons, or bases, whatever people call them. This one still has hair, so I mean, I know it's from this year. And it's more of a chocolatey brown, more smooth. And compared to, let's see, this one, which is, I mean, it's a lot bigger compared to that one, so it seems a little different. But see how this one's a lot more chalkier color, and like in here, it's rough. It doesn't sound, smooth when you rub your fingers on it, and it starts to crack from laying in the sun. So this one, it's got chew-on marks from squirrels and little rodents. They love it. It's good for them, and it's just easy for them to access, because this is a lot of food for a little guy that just burrows around in the woods. You can tell the bases are kind of going away. Just a nice buck. But this is probably 3 years old, maybe 2.5. It's pretty bleached on this side. I mean, a little bit darker on this side too, but yeah, I just wanted to, clear that up, because you can tell the difference when you really put them in your hands too. You can tell whether the texture is different. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it chewed on? You know, I mean, you can look at the color difference on these. Completely darker for this one, way lighter on this one. So it's pretty neat, but I get asked a lot, so I wanted to kind of clear that up. But whether it's an old one or a fresh one, they're still fun to find, and it's awesome when you can get them. But that's basically it. If you guys have questions, comment, post on the website or the Facebook page, sorry. And yeah, I'd like to answer your questions and try to get people more info. It's just, that's kind of like what a lot of people has done for me. I ask a lot of questions. Knowledge is really good to have for the hunting field, the scouting part, everything that adds up to getting your trophy, basically, which is awesome, because going out and hunting and taking someone hunting that's new, it feels good just to do it and say you participated and really busted tail up this mountain or went and crossed creek bottoms and stuff. It's just, it's good to get them out whether you harvest or don't. I try to say hunting is kind of one of the better things for the outdoors and nature, because if there's too many elk, they get sick. There's overpopulation then for the herds, and like deer, they get the wasting disease, and you have to thin them out. And if you shoot a sick one, the meat's no good, but you did a good thing by getting rid of a sick one. You know, it's just, it's all part of nature, and it all comes down to it that hunting is one of the best ways to get your food, I think. If it pays off a lot more than, you know, going to the grocery store and buying a couple pounds of hamburger. You know, at least there's a story behind it, and it just pays off. You know, it's not just sitting there and saying that deer has a huge, you know, rack. You can walk by it every day, sitting on your wall. That's awesome, but it's more to, you know, when you're cooking and thinking about how hard this was and how hard you hunted, and it just feels good personally and as a hunter. So, but it's cool. So I try to get a lot more people out and put in my 2 cents, because I think hunting is the greatest thing around for hobby wise. I think always gonna hunt as long as I'm, you know, allowed. So it's great. But yeah, that's just kind of some info, and I'll get some more videos up about shooting when the weather gets a little nicer, and that's about it. Thank you guys, appreciate it.